Saturday night. My name is David Donohue. I'm gonna play some songs. Many of them, if not most of them, I've written, and I thank you for coming out to share. The first one, though, is one I didn't write. It's a poem by W.B. Yeats called "The Song of Wandering Angus." I went out to the hazelwood because a fire was in my head, and cut and peeled a hazel wine and hooked a berry to a thread. And when white moths were on the wing, and moth-like stars were flickering out, I dropped a berry in a stream and caught a little silver trout. When I had laid it on the floor, I went to blow the fire aflame, and something rustled on the floor, and someone called me by my name. It had become a glimmering girl with apple blossom in her hair. She called me by my name and ran and faded through the brightening air. Though I am old with wandering through hollow lands and hilly lands, I will find out where she has gone and kiss her lips and take her hands and walk among long dappled grass and pluck till time and times are done the silver apples of the moon, the golden apples of the sun, the silver apples of the moon, the golden apples of the sun. Thank you very much. This is a song I wrote, I don't know, a decade ago, talking about what to do with me when I kick the bucket. Although you don't really have to do it this way. Put me in the chipper, whatever you want. When my last breath is drawn, here's what to do with me. Ice me up, 3 days time that all my friends see. Then when sheep's time is up, burn me on a pyre in a wild and starlit night. In that dry and crackling choir. In that dry and crackling choir, where the flames sing ever higher. Command me to the sky, I'll see you by and by. Now in this life, if I've been good, I'd have put by a little wood that you could use to fuel this pile. If a little scotch catches fire, I'll smile at 1 mile. In that dry and crackling choir, with a flame sing ever higher. Command me to the sky, I'll see you by and by. Well, there's a field in my eye that's wide and open to the sky. Now when you finally roast me there, bring lots of food and drink to share with your friends and your lovers. Probably with that dry and crackling choir, with a flame sing ever higher. Command me to the sky, I'll see you by and by. And carry on through the night. Wake me fine, wake me right. When that eastern light does shine, it's all to you, no more mine. From that dry and crackling choir, where the flames sing ever higher. Command me to the sky, I'll see you by and by. And in that day no more mine. Please gather up all the fines, the dust and grit that once was me, and give it to my friends indeed. And ask them all to spread it round in the gardens on their ground. When they eat their lettuce fine, it's all a little more of this day will once again be mine. From that dry and crackling choir, where the flames sing ever higher. Command me to the sky, I'll see you by and by. Thanks very much. Getting there. So, I wrote this song. It's like one of the first songs I wrote back when, like 2012. And this was when there was quite a lot of controversy about coal trains driving by. I don't know if y'all notice, the coal trains are still going by. They're just not going to Cherry Point. They're going up to BC and dumping on the edge of the Salish Sea up there. Well, coming around the bend is a train that's long and lean. Great long line of coal cars bound for the Powder River Sea. Well, they'll load them up with coal for burning in the air. That falls back down as acid rain and mercury everywhere. Out on the Strait of Georgia, the ships are lining up to load on up with coal in a deep water cut. A place wild herring grow. Never will again if you let those vultures go. And they're taking back the empties and train a mile long. Taking back the empties, and you know it won't be long. They're taking back the empties, I'll write this song. Well, no one wants a coal train running through their backyard, but sacrifices must be made for progress and jobs. But sacrifice the air, the water, and our children too. So you can go to Tar-Mart and buy some cheap-ass shoes. And they're taking back the empties and the train a mile long. Taking back the empties, you know it won't be long. They're taking back the empties, we'll write this song. 200 years of industry have brought us to this pass. The human race, like Icarus, can smell the melting wax. We'll mine what's left of us 60 million years on. We'll hear this prayer as the train go roll along. And they're taking back the empties and the train a mile long. Taking back the empties, you know it won't be long. They're taking back the empties, we'll write this song. And they're taking back the empties and the train a mile long. Taking back the empties, you know it won't be long. They're taking back the empties, we'll write this song. Continuing on this strain of songs I've written, this is a song about, I was chair of the Sunnyland Neighborhood Association back 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago, on the end of the century, the beginning of this one. And back then, up in Memorial Park, there was this reflecting pool that was built by the mothers of the fallen soldiers in World War I. And it had cracked. You know, they built the pool and they planted all these trees, and each tree was planted for each one of the children they had lost. And the pool is a reflecting pool in order that we might reflect on how we got there. And come 2003, we decided to man up and go blow the hell out of people who are far away. And it coincided with an effort by some veterans groups to rebuild that memorial in a different form. And this is a song about that. 100 years ago, mothers of the boys that were sent over there built us all a pool to look into. A memory of the meat and bone they gave to make a bloody dough of war. A dough of war. A dough of war. A dough of war. A dough of war to feed the fires. And all around that pool, they planted many trees, and they named each one for each one of these children that they lost in that corporate holocaust on the fields of war. 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 On the fields of war, there's buried hearts. And time marched on through war after war, and the trees grew long, and the fountain cracked, and the memories all drained away. That's the way of war. 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 That's the way of war in our hearts. That's the way of war. That's the way of war. That's the way of war. That's the way of war in our hearts. 2003, they tore out that pool and raised a wheel of red granite slabs, and they named each one. For each one of these wars that shipped them overseas, and they scribed upon them the names of the friends they lost. On that wheel of war. On that wheel of war. On that wheel of war. On that wheel of war in the park. And standing in that wheel, there's World War I and World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, Iraq, and now Afghanistan, the forgotten one. Don't worry, there's room for more war. On that wheel of 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 war in Memorial Park. So this is a song I wrote after wandering around the neighborhood, and I remember one night in particular, we live up in Sunnyland, and I was coming down the trail, ride my bike or walk down, and this was some time ago, before they set the railroad bridge on fire and rebuilt it as a steel bridge. I was coming down across that bridge, and it was night, it was cold, and there was this woman with her baby in a stroller, and she was obviously had nowhere to be. And I started seeing people everywhere, and I see them more and more. And then that September, it was September 15th, I remember, it was early, the cold dropped on us real fast, and it was pretty bad. Northeast wind blew. I remember as a sailor, a buddy of mine once told me, he says, when the north wind wakes up, watch out. North wind woke up today and blew down across the bay. It made me stop and think of you as winter fall into. You under a bridge, I think of you inside your car, I think of you out in the dark, a baby on your arm. And the world is falling faster, the sun is going down, and the night fold you wholly on the ground, on the ground. North wind woke up today and blew down across the bay. It made me stop and think of you as winter you fall into. Think of you up in the night, I think of you by firelight, I think of you out in the air, morning dew on your hair. And the night has fallen lonely, the stars shine all around, and your heart is burning only, not to be found, not to be found. North wind woke up today and blew down across the bay. It made me stop and think of you as winter we fall into. Think of you in the sight that comes with morning light. I think of you up on the street, searching out what to eat. And the world is rising slowly, the sun is going up. It's time to go put something in the cup, in the cup. North wind woke up today and blew down across the bay. It made me stop and think of you as winter we fall into. And speaking of sailing, this is a song I wrote. So I had a friend who plays in different bands around, who had played in a band around town known as Lindsay Street. His name was Brian Early. And Brian and I knew him from the 80s, way back in the sailing community. He was a sailor big time. And sailors are always friendly and helpful to each other if they can be. So Brian got sick in 2000s and he passed on in 2014. But before he did, it was a coincidental thing where he came down. His nephew is a guy named Michael Murphy who builds tree houses. And Mike had a boat down in the harbor, and he went up. This guy was talking to him. A really friendly blonde-haired guy right next to my boat, and he says, "Yeah, hey, how are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I've been, blah blah blah." And he said, "Oh, you lived here long?" I said, "Yeah, I lived here a long time." And he said, "What about you?" He says, "No, my uncle lives here." I said, "Well, who's your uncle?" And he tells me, "Oh, my uncle's Brian Early." He said, "Oh, wow, you have known him forever." So Brian would come down and go sailing with Mike. And then when Brian passed on in 2014, it coincided with the time I started my business, and I got a new phone. And Mike would call me sometimes. And one time he called me. He said, "Hey, I'm stuck out in the bay. Can you come out and get me? My motor broke." And I said, "Sure. Here's my cell phone number. I just got this new cell phone number, and call me." So I gave him my number, and he goes, "How did you get my uncle's cell phone number?" So I had been awarded Brian's cell phone number by coincidence. That was worth a song. Well, I got your phone number 5 months after you died. It came to me randomly as an account was assigned. And people still call and ask for you by name. I tell them you were a friend this is hard to explain. See, I tell them we were brothers out on the Salish Sea. Then I go on like a song, remembering a long late afternoon of summer. On wine dark winds we rode, our hearts were forged on the beating waves as our sails heaved us home. So then I tell them of our families, how we share so many friends, and of your nephew like a son. He still calls you when there's wind, or with a busted motor that calmed out on the bay. You love that boy and now it seems you've given that to me. Then I say I'm sorry. You called looking for a handyman. Well, I know a few, maybe one or two, might be good for you then. In the long late afternoons of summer, on wine dark winds we rode. Our hearts were forged on the beating waves as our sails heaved us home. In the long, late afternoons of summer, on wine dark winds we rode. Our hearts were forged on the beating waves as our sails heaved us home. I got your phone number 5 months after you died. It came to me randomly as an account was assigned. So, I'm going to cover a song here by Gordon Lightfoot called The Canadian Railroad Trilogy. I grew up with it, listening to it, and I was always in awe of it. So I thought it would... I partner it with another song I wrote, so that to preface it that way. So I grew up with this. We all grew up with this ethic of this great country and this wide open virgin country and come and get it, you know? There was a time in this fair land when the railroad did not run, when the wild majestic mountains stood alone against the sun. Long before the white man and long before the wheel, when the green dark forest was too silent to be real. But time has no beginning and history has no bounds. As to this verdant country we came from all around. We sailed upon her waterways and we walked the forests tall. Built the mines and mills and the factories for the good of us all. And when a young man's fancy had turned into the spring, well, railroad men grew restless for to hear their hammers ring. Their minds were overflowing with the visions of their day, with many a fortune lost and won, and many a debt to pay. For they looked to the future, and what did they see? An iron road running from the sea to the sea, bringing the goods to a young great land, all up from the seaports and into their hands. Look away, said they, across this mighty land, from the eastern shore to the western strand. Bring up the workers and bring up the rails. We gotta lay on the truck, tear up the trails. Open your heart, let the lifeblood flow. We gotta get in our way cause we're moving too slow. Bring up the workers and bring up the rails. We gotta lay on the truck, tear up the trails. Open your heart, let the lifeblood flow. We gotta get in our way cause we're moving too slow. Get in our way cause we're moving too slow. Behind the blue Rockies, the sun is declining. Stars they come stealing at the close of the day. Across the wide prairie, our loved ones lie sleeping. Across the dark ocean, in a place far away. We are the navvies who work upon the railway, swinging our hammers in the bright blazing sun, living on stew and drinking bad whiskey, bending our backs till the long day is done. We are the navvies who work upon the railway, swinging our hammers in the bright blazing sun, bringing up track and building the bridges, bending our backs till the railroad is done. So the mountains and into the plains, and into the muskeg and into the rain, and up to St. Lawrence all the way to Gaspé, swinging our hammers and drawing our pay, driving them in, tying them down, way to the bunkhouse and into the town. $1 a day and up with my head, drink for the living and the toast of the dead. Oh, the song of the future has been sung, all the battles have been won. On the mountain tops we stand, all the world at our command. We have opened up her soil with our teardrops and our toil. For there was a time in this fair land when the railroad did not run, when the wild and majestic mountains stood alone against the sun. Long before the white man and long before the wheel, when the green dark forest was too silent to be real. Yeah, the green dark forest was too silent to be real. And many are the dead men, too silent to be real. Where's Michael? So that song always got me, and I always wondered about it. It's like holy shit! Europeans came to this continent, and within 200 years, we, basically chewed it apart, stripped it down, and and you think back what it was like prior to this great population influx of termite people, you might just kind of not be able to grasp it. I haven't. So I wrote this song just kind of to sort it out for myself. It's called The Butcher's Tongue. So it comes from the idea that somebody pointed out to me one time, when you work in the woods, which I've done, and work with my chainsaw, when you look at trees, you don't really see a forest anymore, you see bored feet. Well, they sailed across the ocean, and they brought their friends. They sailed across the ocean, and they brought their friends. And they brought their disease, and they brought the end to 100 million people cast into the fires of trade and commerce, of gold and desire, and they took everything that could be taken, and they carved their name on every face. By that butcher's tongue, we are forsaken. Our stories lose their place. When landing from the ocean, they took everything by name. From the highest, whitest mountains to the grassiest of plains. From the rolling rail cars, they slew the buffalo to starve out all the people, had no use for gold. And they took everything that could be taken, and they carved their name on every face. By that butcher's tongue, we are forsaken. Our stories lose their place. So as you roll across this country, so you roll across the world. As you carve her into pieces and sell her off like a string of pearls. Would you sell your own mother for her weight in gold? Like you sell your grandmother before each day is old. And you take everything that can be taken, and you carve your name on every face. By that butcher's tongue, we are forsaken. Our stories lose their place. By the butcher's tongue, we are forsaken. Our stories lose their place. So we sail across the ocean to save our friends. But then we blow them all to pieces, but then we put them back again. So what do they call us? Lying dead and cold. Heroes or victors, as we change their oil for gold. And we took everything that could be taken. And we carved our name on every hiss. By that butcher's tongue, we are forsaken. Our stories lose their place. I'm going to switch guitars real quick. This next song is not mine, it's a cover I'm going to play. I think I'm going to try to play it. Hopefully I can play it. Lighten it up a little. So, written by songwriter who passed on in 2014, the name of T.R. Ritchie, who was well known in these parts, well loved. And I'm going to try to play this song in this. Gosh. Oh, right. This guitar booms more so everything down. If it were fire you needed most, I would become the flame. And if the moment called for strength, then steel would be my name. And if your heart were heavy, I'd become a feathered wing. Carry you into the blue to dwell among your dreams. If your lips were thirsty, I'd be the wine that fills your glass. I'd be the sun upon your face when the storm had rolled on past. I'd be a lucky penny, I'd be your wishing stone. I'd be the ground beneath your feet and the stars that lead you home. For if the light of one small candle can defy the darkest night, how can I not seek to be a bearer of the light for you? Bearer of the light. I'd be the hand that reaches down if you should ever fall. And I would be the saving grace where you saw no grace at all. I'd be a willing vessel for all you hold close. I'd be the love that finds you time you need it most. For if the light of one small candle can defy the darkest night, how can I not seek to be a bearer of the light for you? This is a song I wrote most recently this summer. Having lived here many years, you know, 4th of July comes and goes, and sometimes it's horrific, and sometimes people behave themselves. But anyway, here we go. There's a gentle rain falling on the 4th of July. The hops are climbing up their lines to the sky. The apples are setting in the transparent tree. Bombs are exploding all around you and me. And I'm at the Lummi Bay Market where the gas is cheap. Standing at the pump just next to me, there's a white man in black with a pistol on his hip. He's getting ready to go off on his trip. So when the fireworks start and the night comes apart, and 10,000 blazing tracers will stare into those clouds and watch it all go down in our United States of amnesia, in our United States of amnesia. Out in the neighborhood, no fireworks are allowed, as the boys blow another one up for the crowd, and the dogs all are running and hiding and trembling like puppies and crying. So when the fireworks start and the night comes apart, and 10,000 blazing tracers all stare into those clouds and watch it all come down in our United States of amnesia. There's a flag big as a house on the south side of town in the morning of the 5th, and it's halfway down. And I can't remember when it became the rule that freedom killed children like fish in their schools. So when the fireworks start and the night comes apart, and 10,000 blazing tracers all stare into those clouds and watch it all go down in our United States of amnesia, in our United States of amnesia. This is a song a couple hundred years old, and my memory is like, it's a very famous writer, the Bard, a Scottish writer, romantic. So my love is a red, red rose. My love, yeah, there we go, Burns, Robert Burns. My love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. My love is like an melody still my dear, the whole seas can dry, the wall seas can dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun. I would love thee still, my dear, for the sands of life to run. So fare thee well, my only love, and fare thee well a while, for I would come to you again. Those were 10,000 miles. Those were 10,000 miles, my dear. Those were 10,000 miles. I would come to you again. Those were 10,000 miles. Thanks very much. This is a song I wrote most recently. Call it, working title is, I wrote in the last few weeks. Working title is Christmas in El Paso. Senor, can you help me? I'm looking for my son. I lost him at the Rio Muerte in the Darien. Monsieur, can you help me? They want to send me back to Haiti. They called me undesirable in the land of the free. Said, can you help me? From war I've had to flee, and a rubber boat across the Mediterranean Sea. America, where have you gone? I'm searching for your open door. You called me with your shining song, but it's not shining anymore. America, where have you gone? I'm searching for your open door. You called me with your shining song, but it's not shining anymore. I've crossed so many rivers, walked 3,000 miles on my feet, running from the monsters that are made of greed. So many bones and bodies I've seen along the way. The bandits and the smugglers, they the old ways get paid. And it's Christmas in El Paso, and I'm freezing in the street, but I'm staying there and saying prayers for deliverance and opportunities. America, where have you gone? I'm searching for your open door. You called me with your shining sun, but it's not shining anymore. No, it's not shining anymore. Thanks very much. This song is called "Flightless Birds," and it's a collaboration. Well, Laura, in the depths of the pandemic, Laura was running a virtual open mic for the Honeymoon. Yeah. And she asked me if I would participate. She asked a lot of people, and I said, yes, I will, but you have to give me a prompt so I can write a song for it. And she gave me this prompt called "Flightless Birds." I said, okay, with that. So this is what I did with that. There's a flicker family in the fir tree, and dark-eyed juncos at the pond. We dug when you were full of Julian, and summer had begun to fall. We live in a 100-year-old house, built from a 1,000-year-old tree. 50 years ago out front, someone planted a dug fir, they dug for free. And this fir tree, it's full of jays and crows, flickers, possums too. Planted years ago, while the ancient moon was new, while the elder giants in their forests still grew. Every year the fir tree grows taller and wider around, and with the pond so many birds and nighttime animals have made of it their home. But just to place to overnight as they travel ever around, looking for some food or a safe place to hide in this town. And this fir tree's full of jays and crows, flickers, possums too. Planted years ago, while the ancient moon was new, while the elder giants in their forests still grew. And this fir tree, it's full of jays and crows, flickers, possums too. Planted years ago, while the ancient moon was new, while the elder giants in their forest still grew. Across the street, the city grows, concrete cars like sandbars. The trees and birds are coming down, and asphalt skins the earth. And the people just keep coming on like it's 1848. Thicker in here every year as the locals get displaced. Now Julianne's grown, we're nested down like flightless birds. As the lights from the bar drown out the stars. And the fir tree is full of jays and crows, flickers, possums too, planted years ago, while the ancient moon was new, while the elder giants in their forest still grew.
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
Okay, so I'm gonna play one more and take a little break. You guys refill your glasses and I can refill mine. This is a song I learned recently. It's not my song, it's a song by Christy Moore called Ride On. A friend of mine moved back to Ireland, used to play it around here a lot. I listen to him, so I'd like to give it a try. True, you ride the finest horse I've ever seen, standing 16, 1 or 2, with eyes wild and green. And you ride the horse so well, hands light to the touch. I could never go with you, no matter how I wanted to. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you, no matter how I wanted to. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you, no matter how I wanted to. As you race into the night, without a trace behind, run your claw along my gut one last time. I turn to face the empty space where you used to lie. Look for the spark to light the dark through a teardrop in my eye. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you, no matter how I wanted to. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you, no matter how I wanted to. No matter how I wanted to. Thanks very much. My name's David Donohue. I'll be here for a second hour after a few minutes. I'm going to take a little break. I'd like to ask you very kindly to not forget to tip your bartender. She's awesome. And I have a tip jar up here if you're so inclined. Thanks very much.